So I wrote in the headline that it's been 2 weeks since Donald Trump's bloody massacre. It's really a bloody massacre because he struck at the core of the Democratic Party. It's a depot where they constantly laundered money from the budget and actually stole it from the people, which in the American taxpayers, thus he just cut off their oxygen, stopped that artery through which they were being fed. And the most important thing is that it's like a vicious circle. People initially got into Parliament, Congress, or the Senate after their term. They are usually during their cadence. They managed to create some non-governmental organizations with financing from used, the so-called, by the way, this organization, well, I'll finish. And after that, when their term ended, they went through non-governmental organizations or into this organization itself, as they are scattered all over the world, and funds were allocated. Basically, this money laundering, you could say Landrigman, and this is corruption. And to help you understand USAID, the program and organization was established in 1961 by President Kennedy. President Kennedy founded it, but what was his main goal at that time? The main goal was to dismantle the Soviet Union, to influence all countries accordingly, to transfer their democratic institutions, their democratic directions to other countries. But this always happens with leftists, that they always know how to turn a good deed into a trough from which money can be drawn endlessly. Trump, of course, it's happening on all fronts here. You know, regarding foreign policy, that is already with Panama, Mark Rubio has made an agreement. The same process is happening with Greenland. The issues with Canada and Mexico have also been resolved. Military personnel will be monitoring the borders from both sides and won't let the mafia through. Fentanyls which poison and destroy the people of America, and all of this will close. It's clear, China, but all of this is done through these socialist ones. Representatives from one side, Trudeau from Canada, and on the other side, there's also a socialist from Mexico. Specifically, well, President Trump has resolved the issue and is practically stopping it. He's in the process of stopping it. In addition, he deployed the armed forces of America to secure the southern border. I think that he will still resolve these issues. But the most important thing he did was, of course, strike on the inside. Bureaucratic system. It was he, one might say, who drew blood from the Democrats who were constantly feeding off these, you could say, bureaucratic illegal channels. And USAID, or as they call that organization, it's so corrupt that at the moment, more and more information is coming out every day. And according to the latest information, just so you understand, so the EU also funded Burisma. Can you imagine? So money was coming from there to Burisma as well. And that's why Biden was trying hard to cover everything up. And first of all, to put your son in this bureaucratic system and deal with it. Real money laundering. Then Barack Obama's mother worked at the ESCD company. Liz Cheney also worked at that company. The prosecutors who went after Trump also received money through that company. And all this with the support of the Central Intelligentsia. It's called the CIA. She's also involved in those machinations. So, do you understand that right now, the Democrats practically staged a mutiny on the ship? They start holding some rallies and shouting, Elon bet, Elon bet, Elon. Well, they found their main enemy. And in fact, Democrats, you could say, they lost the war with Elon. He's the strongest person in the world, the richest. They just ignored him during his term. Biden himself. They lost him, and Elon absolutely understood that if they came to power, they would just take away their businesses and send him out into the world, and maybe even physical destruction. So he had no choice how to support Trump. But he supported Trump not so much from the position that he wants to protect his business, but he has a goal to put America back together. People, to turn this world around, to break away from leftism, from communism, from socialism, which is really poisoning the entire world. So, Elon got involved in the process, even if they're saying he wasn't elected. Why is he leading this structure? But you can't even say that, because in recent months, since Elon joined the fight, this is one of, maybe I would say, 20, 30, 40% of the credit for Trump's victory goes to Elon. And now, a real war is happening. And the war that Trump announced to the whole world, in a good sense, a war where he wants to stop wars, to stop all the catastrophes created by socialists and communists, and to set the earth back on the right track. Because humanity absolutely can manage and earn money and move forward peacefully. And every country can compete with each other, but not through military actions and not through destruction, material things of people, just like Putin does, dictator. Thus, Trump walks like this, by leaps and bounds. And it's only been 2 weeks. In just 2 weeks, so much work has already been done, and every day the situation is being uncovered. USAID, this organization that corruption is just off the charts. And this has been happening for decades. This didn't happen yesterday. And you see that Obama, Clinton, and Bush are all involved here. It's a whole mafia. And now it will be reviewed. I think that when all those machinations are fully uncovered, they will be known. And the main instigators of this direction, because this is absolute abuse, and this organization was used against the American people. And a lot was funded from this organization. Mass media in Ukraine, Europe, America, and Africa. So where those money didn't go, they weren't sent, but there's even information that those funds didn't even reach the end consumer at all. Sometimes it could be only 10%. But as now there are videos from the African side where they say, thank you, Donald Trump, for closing it down, because that money just doesn't reach us. They're being embezzled along the way. So you understand that for the Democrats to stay in power and keep getting reelected, they need to, this feeding trough, this piggy bank, where to take taxpayers' money and redistribute it through closed doors in the back. And just imagine, 3 to 4 months ago, if you had put out such information on air, I think you all would have been blocked, right? You wouldn't even be able to discuss it. And now, as it is, in America, there is really freedom of speech. At the moment,